Who are you?
My name's Luggy.
What does COLA mean to you?
COLA means cost of living adjustment, and it's just more than COLA. It's fighting against an unjust system, against a UC that feeds off emotionally burdened, financially stressed, and mentally stressed.
What can be done to fix the UC?
It needs a total reform. Everything about it is fucked. It marginalizes people of color, trans, LGBTs, everything.
Hey, I'm Claire.
What does COLA mean to you?
Literally, it's a cost of living adjustment, and so it kind of literally translates to people being able to live and survive. Well, like live and work in the city that they occupy.
Why are you striking?
I'm here partially because a lot of my classes are canceled, partially because this is a big movement, and honestly, just having people out here and being present with my community, with my peers.
What do you think can be done to fix the UC?
To fix the UC, I think we need to override the whole system and kind of just write it up from the ground up. I honestly am proposing that all the undergrads take a quarter off together at once, and that would really fuck the UC financially. Of course, it's kind of not really a viable thing that would actually happen, but I think just knowing and remembering that we have this buying power is important because we're supporting an oppressive institution.
All right, who are you?
I'm Tim Fitzmaurice.
Why are you striking here today?
I'm a faculty member, and what I'm doing is supporting the graduate students in their need to have a salary that reflects their ability to live here. And if we don't pay them enough, then it lowers the type of person that is actually doing this job, right? It affects the whole system when you decide not to pay people sufficiently, and so that's why I'm here to support.
What does COLA mean to you?
Well, it's a cost of living, and I think everybody understands that. If they've been working for minimum wage or they're working for low wages, you understand that in order to live in a community, you need to figure out what that cost is. And in fact, the COLA that they're asking for is far short of what they actually need to live in this community, but it's a start. And I was a graduate student on this campus, incidentally, a long time ago, and poor, and what they're doing is extremely courageous. I mean, they're putting themselves out there.
What do you think can be done to fix the UC?
Well, the first thing you do is get rid of the name Regent. They have to start by looking at themselves as a university that's here to serve their mission. They don't serve their mission. Their mission is to educate the top 12% of Californians. Their mission is to be a resource to the state of California. Instead, they become really transactional about the way they do work. And I'm a teacher. I've taught here for 40 years. And so I can see that transactional nature of the university just growing and growing, where they're looking for ways to monetize what is essentially has to be a public institution.
Thank you so much. Why are you striking here today?
I'm striking because people deserve the right to live as they want to live. Yeah.
What does COLA mean to you?
Let me think about this. COLA means paying people for the work they do so they can live comfortably and work comfortably and make a difference. Yeah.
What can be done to fix the UC?
I've actually thought about this a lot. They need to stop admitting so many students, because basically what the UC is doing is that they're admitting so many students just so they can get the money, and it's making Santa Cruz a worse place to live in. It's making housing worse. It's making the bus system worse. It's making traffic worse. They just need to stop admitting so many students. But the reason they are is so they can get more money, more tuition, more loans from the government, So yeah, just stop admitting students.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Also, I think if I were Cynthia, I would just rack in that $475,000 I got this year on top with my fucking housing stipend, that bullshit ass shit. And then I would sign all this shit to the grad students and walk away with my $500K, because I could live my whole ass life with that shit. You don't need more. You really don't need more.
I think we're at the door of it, right? The doomsday is not the doomsday for graduate students. The doomsday is for everything that exists.
And it's obviously.
For administration.
What does COLA mean to you?
Well, I'm an undergrad, but to me, it means, I would say, fairness. Fairness for the people that work so hard to grade all the papers and do everything for all the students, and yeah.
What do you think can be done to fix the UC?
Well, what everyone is here for is to get the people at the top of the UC who have accumulated lots and lots of wealth to just distribute their wealth to all these people. Only $1,400 per person, and they are making like millions of dollars, so it would be a small fraction of what they have.
Because I could be a grad student, so I want to hang out with the folks that are grad students and need the cost of living adjustment, and to fight the fight for my future self.
What does COLA mean to you?
That is kind of a silly question, because it's already got such a broader meaning, and such a meaning that has been like sort of developed over the past 2 weeks by chanting with a crowd of people. So I think that's a hard question to answer, because part of this is sort of half blindly supporting COLA, but to me it means cost of living adjustment, and I do support that.
What do you?
I live just up the hill in Ranchview Terrace, so I wanted to see what was going on here.
What does COLA mean to you specifically?
What does the movement mean to me? Well, the movement means to me that our graduate students can't afford to live here. That's really what its greatest benefit has been, that I think, to sort of bring that to clear awareness on the campus. I think it's galvanizing faculty and students and administrators to do something about it.
What do you think can be done to fix the UC?
The whole system, much more taxpayer funding would be a very important first step. I mean, we're not really a publicly funded university anymore. We're a sort of publicly supported university, if you understand the difference. So that's a major thing. I think it would... Well, in the past, I mean, a long time before you and I were here, the state really paid for the majority of each UC campus's budget. Now the state is paying for, I think, less than 40% of each campus's budget, and leaving it to the campuses to raise their own funds through private philanthropy or tuition increases or whatnot. And so if the state is going to have a viable UC, it really should invest in it. That would be my point of view.
I wanted to see this up close, see just how everyone's doing, really.
What does the COLA movement mean to you?
I don't know, man. I'm not really involved in any of this, but I feel that I should support anyone that lives on this campus. We're all a tightly knit community, and if I have to say bye to all these people, I don't want to say I'm coming to see them off, because I hope that they pull some miracle in the next few hours, but it's just upsetting.
What do you think can be done to fix the UC?
Just don't be so stubborn. I mean, they've spent almost more money now than I think that they spent more money now, trying to prevent all this than what could have been done to fix the issue. And I mean, sure, maybe it wouldn't have fixed it in the long run, but it's something. I mean, look how many people we're gonna be saying bye to. I mean, I don't think it's worth it.
Sure, yeah. I'm Matthew Smith. I am a first-year PhD student in the History of Consciousness program. I was also an attorney for 8 years before starting graduate school.
Why are you out here striking today?
I'm out here striking because, very simply, the university is not paying graduate students enough to live here. We're in really a dire financial situation that, at the end of the day, is kind of a math problem. Like, the amount that we're being paid, even with the most creative budget arrangements, is really not enough to support even one person to live here. So for me, it's just a very basic. It's a very basic wage issue. Now, I think that, the issue of the undercompensation is reflective of a larger set of problems in the university system as a whole that really boil down to a university system that's being run as though it were a for-profit institution, a university system that's being run without regard for the importance of certain disciplines, and that's being run mainly to make money off of undergraduate tuition streams on the backs of the cheapest labor it can possibly acquire, which is undercompensated labor of desperate teaching assistants and lecturers, for that matter. So, the immediate issue is that I can't pay rent. The larger issue is that this is a network of just a fundamentally unjust institution that needs to change or needs to go away.
What do you think can be done to fix the UC then? What can make this, the institution work better for everyone?
Yeah, God, there are so many ways to answer that question, I think. That's a hard one. I think in terms of our immediate struggle right here, there's no question in my mind that the funds exist to compensate teaching assistants at a rate and lecturers at a rate that's actually humane and that enables them to do their jobs as educators. It's absurd that administrators who are utterly incompetent at resolving a really basic labor struggle are still nonetheless getting paid at the rates they're getting paid. So even just starting with administrator salaries alone and the kind of bloated administrative network that we have layered on top of the actual process of education at this institution, there's money that could be found there to pay the people who are really doing the work. So, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. And I'm new at this institution, so I'm still learning kind of all the ways in which it's dysfunctional and all the things that I think really should be done to change it structurally. But just at the most basic level. Especially for a public institution, this place needs to be compensating people at a rate where they can afford to live here and do the jobs they're supposed to do without charging undergraduates, unbelievable amounts of money as well. Like that definitely can't come out of an increase in undergraduate tuition because this is a public institution, right? This is supposed to be about accessibility, and they're already charging these students too much. So yeah, I think that structurally the university needs to be rethought, in terms of what they're paying who and for what, and more money needs to go to the people who are actually doing the teaching and the work, and less money needs to be being taken from the students.